Erie, Pennsylvania, the Gem City, perched right on the shores of its namesake Great Lake. It's a city known for a few things: sunsets, a comical amount of snow, and being a great place to get gas on your way to Buffalo or Cleveland. For a lot of people, Erie may seem like just a pass-through town. It's a geographic middle child sandwiched between bigger cities. But if you just drive through, you're missing the beat. Because like any city with 4 seasons and a lot of grit, Erie has soul, and that soul has a soundtrack. Today we're exploring the hidden musical history of Erie, Pennsylvania. It's a story that involves one of the most important figures in American classical music, the biggest fictional band of all time, and a punk scene fueled by pepperoni balls and do-it-yourself attitude. This is Erie's Unknown Playlist. When you think of Erie music, you probably don't think of this, but you should, because the most influential musician to ever come from Erie wasn't a rocker or a pop star. He was a classically trained baritone and composer, and he was born in 1866. He was the son of a man who had escaped slavery, and his name was Harry T. Burleigh. And if that name doesn't ring a bell to you, that's one of American music's greatest injustices. Burleigh was a trailblazer. He earned a scholarship to a prestigious music conservatory in New York, where he became friends with the director, the one and only Antonín Dvořák. Burleigh would sing the African-American spirituals that he learned from his grandfather, Dvořák, and those melodies directly influenced the composer's New World Symphony. But Burleigh's real genius was his own work. He took these spirituals that had been passed down orally for generations and arranged them into sophisticated classical art pieces. He not only preserved a vital part of American history, but he elevated it, demanding that it be given the respect it deserved on the world stages. Harry T. Burleigh is undoubtedly Erie's greatest contribution to American musical history, a true giant. His legacy is a reminder that Erie's musical DNA is not just based on rock and roll. It's built on a foundation of world-class artistry. All right, let's fast forward to the 1960s. This was the era of garage bands and mop tops and kids with cheap guitars dreaming of hitting it big. And of course, the single biggest band to ever come out of Erie, Pennsylvania. The group that took the world by storm with their meteoric rise. We're talking about the Oneders. You had the brilliant but moody singer Jimmy, the wisecracking Lenny on lead guitar, a nameless bass player, and the effortlessly cool drummer Skitch. They won the Maryhurst College Talent Show, got their song on the radio. Before you knew it, they were on national television, and the next thing you know, they were managed by Tom Hanks himself. What a story. Okay, fine. They weren't a real band, but let's be honest, they are the most famous fake band in history, and their story was set right there in Erie. The movie That Thing You Do was filmed all over Erie, and it perfectly captured the lightning in a bottle hopes of every kid in a garage band in America. So if it feels real, that's because for a moment, it was. But in reality, the 60s and 70s saw the area fall in love with bands like the Vogues, who were from closer to Pittsburgh, but they were huge on the Erie ballroom circuit. The real sound of Erie was way less Hollywood and way more hardworking bar bands playing for dance-crazed crowds in the clubs and ballrooms of Erie. As the decades rolled on, the music scene, much like the city, got a lot louder and a lot more rough around the edges. This is a working class town, and that blue-collar spirit always fuels a strong hard rock and metal and punk scene. But for any underground music scene to survive, it needs a home. And that place needs to be loud, probably have sticky floors, and be willing to let kids that only know 3 chords and have a lot of emotions make a lot of noise. Venues like Sherlock's or the King's Rook Club, they've been institutions in Erie for decades. They've hosted countless touring and local bands. But for the younger, all-age crowd, there's one place today. And that place is Basement Transmissions. And it's the heart of the do-it-yourself scene. This place is vital. It's an all-age music venue. It's an art space that's run by artists for artists. It's a place where a kid can go to their first punk show, then go home and start their own band and feel like they're part of a community. It's a modern-day version of the garage and a direct descendant of the Electric Banana in Pittsburgh or CBGB's in New York, just with more lake effect snow. Oh, and speaking of nationally known musicians, you know that soaring voice behind the band Train? You know, the guy who sang Drops of Jupiter? That's Pat Monahan, and he grew up right there in Erie. Must be something in the water. Or, you know, the water that falls from the sky 6 months out of the year, the snow. So what does Erie sound like today? It's a mix of everything. You've got heavy metal bands carrying the torch, you have indie rock bands writing thoughtfully, you have a thriving hip-hop scene, and a slew of solo artists. And the best place to come together and see everything that the city has to offer musically is at CelebrateErie, a free downtown music festival. For one weekend every August, the entire downtown becomes a music venue. National headliners play on main stages, but as we all know, the real magic happens on the side stages. Hundreds of local musicians get to play to massive crowds. It's a testament to a scene that may be not that famous nationally, but that has a massive support from its local community. So while the musical history of Erie may not be as well known as some larger cities, it's a city of quiet excellence, of fictional fame, and of a do-it-yourself spirit that refuses to quit. It's the classical genius of Harry T. Burleigh, who changed American music forever. It's the make-believe magic of the Oneders, who gave the city a taste of the pop charts. And it's the real, raw energy of every band that loads its gear into basement transmissions. Erie's music scene is a lot like the city itself, unpretentious, resilient, and full of hidden gems. All you need to do is take a second to stop and listen. What are your favorite bands or memories of music from Erie? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, if you like what you heard, hit that like button and drop subscribe so you know when the next video comes out. Now go, grab a pepperoni ball, turn the music up to 11.